Hello Internet, and welcome to my top 8 game of the Arnhem Regional. This is game 1. Obviously top cut games are best of 3, and the top cut is a day after the Swiss rounds. So everyone has basically got a chance to think about what they could do against their opponents. Everyone has got some kind of an idea of what their opponents are using. There is some degree of scouting at these events. I'm expecting he probably knows, everything about my team, really. Billa is one of the most respected German players. He played at Worlds the last 2 years. I think we both kind of, became sort of known players in 2013 around the same kind of time. When actually we were both using the same, a very similar team. I was using this team, a very similar team to this with the Leipzig and the Brillium and everything in 2013. So was he. He had, I think, an Bomber Snow over the Cresselia or something different like that. But out of everyone in the top cut, Billa was actually one of the players that I wanted to play least. I thought, if anyone's going to stop me in this tournament, then it's probably going to be this game here. So I was, a little bit, on edge about it. I did have the night to sort of think about what he could lead, as he did with me as well. So, these first few turns are not really what I expected, actually. Now, he leads with his Landeros, that's the one, and his Rotom. Now, I don't know some of his items. I had a suspicion that his Landeros was scarfed. I didn't know the item on his Rotom though, so I think he is expecting me to lead with Breloom, and I'm expecting this Rotom to have safety goggles. That's what I was going on in my mind. I wanted to try and scout out this item, so I was very interested in the item. I thought it might have had goggles though. But basically, I'm expecting, I think I looked at the stats on BattleSpot, a few days ago, and I think about 60-odd% of Landeros are actually scarfed, which is a massive number. So, I did suspect it was scarfed. I actually make a fairly risky play here. I'm expecting him to probably go for a U-turn here on, probably on Leipzig. But I used Fake Out on it, Flinch it, and Hidden Power Ice it, which doesn't knock it out. I didn't really expect it to get knocked out there, but it does put it in Mach Punch range. It means that, basically any hit can take it out now. But he goes straight for the Overheat on my Leipzig, which takes it down, which might seem bad. I am 3-4 down now on turn 1, but it does mean that this Rotom is dangling here, basically. It's not offering too much pressure on me, sitting at -2. So I bring Terrakion in. Now, I don't know if he knew that I was suspecting his Landorus to be scarfed or not. I'm, thinking maybe not. But I suppose he was pressured into making this play either way, because I go for a Protect on my Terrakion. I'm expecting an Earthquake to come out from Landorus, and that is, that's exactly what happens. Which means that Terrakion is safe, and I can knock this this Landorus out now. A bit overkill, I suppose, with this Hidden Power, but it was necessary. I did expect his Rotom to switch out here, just to sort of get a bit more momentum on his side, or if not, I don't know actually. I mean, he leaves it in. He gets a -2 Thunderbolt off on my Thunderous, which doesn't bother me too much really, and he brings his Kangaskhan in here, which kind of, is not in the best of positions. His back's against the wall because, obviously I've got Terrakion out here. His Rotom isn't really threatening too much. I've got Lumberry in case he has got Will-O-Wisp. The thing with Kangaskhan is you never know if it's got Fake Out or if it's got Protect. It's you never really know. I mean, everyone's got their own preference. Every team's, works slightly differently. But his back is kind of against the wall here because I'm thinking, well, if he's got Protect, then okay, he can protect on a close combat or whatever. But if he uses Fake Out, if he has got Fake Out, if he uses Fake Out on my Terrakion, which did protect last turn, so I could expect that, maybe switch it out. I don't know. Then I'm basically getting a free hit off with my Thunderous. If he uses Fake Out on Thunderous, then I've got a free close combat onto his Terrakion, onto his Kangaskhan rather. I think he probably expects me to, I don't know, maybe switch the Terrakion out. I've not shown what my last Pokemon is yet. He actually goes for the Fake Out here on my Thunderous. So is not making the obvious moves. Is being quite elusive with his moves. I suppose he uses the fake out on Thunderous, and that basically means that I can get this free close combat off onto his Kangaskhan. So I think in his mind he thought, even in his mind, I think that was the worst case scenario which comes off. But in his mind, he might have been thinking, even if that does happen, his Terrakion will be at -1 and the Mach Punch will knock it out. So even though I'm 3-2 up now, I'm still not in the greatest of positions. This game can still go either way. I have got my Thunderous here, which can break Brillium Sash. It can taunt it as well to stop any Spore shenanigans. So this Brillium is a little bit threatened here, but my Terrakion is as well, because a Mach Punch obviously will knock it out. It'll one-shot my Terrakion at -1. This Rotom is reset its special attack as well, so it can basically knock out my Thunderous if it wants to. Now, I know that I've got Brillium in the back, and in my mind this Rotom has still got the safety goggles, so I need this Terrakion. It is of utmost importance for me to protect this Terrakion. I need it. It's absolutely vital for this game. So even though I never like bringing Brillium in on a potential hit, to keep his Sash, the Sash is really important, I do bring Brillium in here. I have to. I have no choice. He protects his Brillium here, probably on a predicted taunt or a hidden power or whatever, which is a fair enough move for him, and he gets to knock out this Thunderous, again putting his Rotom at -2, but still a -2 overheat is gonna basically take my Brillium down to its Sash. But because I didn't get the hidden power off onto his Brillium now, he has still got his Sash intact. So if he did not protect with his Brillium there, I would have basically taken it down. I would have done probably about 60% with a hidden power, and a Mach Punch would have knocked it out. My Brillium has still got its Sash here, so even if his Brillium, won the speed tie or whatever, it's not going to knock me out with a Mach Punch. That would be a definite knockout, unless he protected. But I've got my tracker on there, so because he protected with his Brillium there, that made him somewhat safe, because this it's still got its Sash intact, it's not taunted, whatever. But because it did protect, that means that I can double target it. Now, I know a Mach Punch is not going to knock my Terrakion out, and he probably thinks that I am worried about this Mach Punch on my Terrakion, and he actually double targets my Brillium here with a Mach Punch and an Overheat, expecting, hoping, probably hoping more than expecting my Terrakion to protect. But basically, because his Brillium protected last turn, I know that I can definitely get a knockout on it with a Mach Punch in a close combat. So basically, the game is won here. Both Brilliums go down this turn. Now, it is a best-of-3 game, so I was a little bit. I know I've won this game. That's already sorted with. I know that, but it's a best-of-3, and it's always interesting to try and either scout for more information from your opponent, or keep your own tricks. Now, I thought that he would already know everything about my team. I know Billa is very familiar with this team and the substitute on the Terrakion, so I didn't think substitute on Terrakion would be a surprise for him, so I was okay revealing that. I didn't go straight for the attack here because I wanted to try and scout out for maybe a Will-O-Wisp as well. I wanted to see if this Thunderbolt on -2 would knock out this substitute, and it basically doesn't. So that's good information for me. Now, I was hoping that I'd be able to get a Rock Slide or a Close Combat or something off here, because I want to see if this Rotom has got safety goggles, or if it's got Citrus Berry or leftovers or whatever. I really want to know the item on this Rotom, but he forfeits here, which is a smart move. It means that obviously I win this game, but it does mean that I don't get any more information from his Rotom, which it's a smart thing to do, isn't it? He doesn't want to give me any more information. But that's the first game won. Top games are obviously best of 3. The second game will be coming on tomorrow. So, you know, I hope you've enjoyed this, guys. You know, please feel free to like and share and comment and, you know, do everything that you have been doing. It's been fantastic so far with these games. But thanks for watching, guys, and bye-bye for now.